I'm speaking on behalf of the Downtown Eastside Neighborhood Council, and the Mount Pleasant neighborhood is not in the Downtown Eastside, but we know well the impacts of gentrification in our neighborhood and how it operates in the city. And I also am familiar with planning staff and how plans are drawn up and designs are put forward and forwarded by planning staff and developers when they come forward to council. And I know of Mount Pleasant as a urban tourist, and I know about the areas that lie around the proposed site for the Rise development. And I'm concerned about the impact of the tower on the low-income housing projects that are unrecognized by most people in the city as low-income housing projects. But I know about them because when people leave the Downtown East Side because of health and safety reasons, or because they want to, or because they can, or because they just choose to, and are lucky enough to find a landlord who will rent to them, a lot of times those landlords own properties and apartment buildings just north of the intersection of Broadway and Fraser, or between Fraser and Main Street, kind of just on that overlooking the wastelands section of apartment blocks. It's like the west end of the east side. And that section of apartment blocks is what I worry about, because it's got the highest concentration that I'm aware of low-income and Aboriginal people kind of outside of the downtown east side core. And I wonder if city staff has done a social impact assessment to see what the impact of this tower may be on speculation and development in those apartment areas, because those places are the current high-density affordability spaces of the east side. And I am afraid that a development like this will signal changes that could redevelop into new kinds of density that are not oriented towards low-income renters and will not overcome the stigma and rent to former Downtown East Side residents or people who have Downtown East Side addresses and SRO hotel rooms on their rental resumes. Now, I want to also say that I'm concerned about this project because, the DNC is concerned about this project because it's not operating within the spirit of the community plan that gave rise to these special sites. And we are currently engaged in a local area planning process with the City of Vancouver. And so the good faith of carrying on a planning process and carrying that spirit forward throughout the years of implementation is absolutely critical to the trust that we need to have with council and staff as we work on a local area planning process in the Downtown East Side. So I urge council to turn down this proposal and to be true to the spirit of the Mount Pleasant Community Plan, which calls for density but not at the cost of affordability, and certainly not on that specific site. There's also amenities in the Mount Pleasant area that are working class amenities for people throughout the East Side, and including people who live in the Downtown East Side, like Kingsgate Mall. Kingsgate Mall is one of those last bastion malls that is not overly commercialized and blingy or super expensive and full with boutiques, but it's a mall that caters towards lower income and working class people. And I'm aware that that mall is one of the next designated sites should Rise prove to be successful and be approved by council. So I encourage council to turn down the application for rezoning at the Rise site. Finally, the last thing I wanted to say is that I also see this as a bit of an opportunity because Mount Pleasant is not the dragon's den of developer kind of nesting. It's a double metaphor. It's not really graceful. But it's not the lair of the developer monster in Vancouver. The lair of the developer monster in Vancouver is in the Downtown East Side. But I hope that this opportunity for people to look at how the city is valuing the input and the dreams of developers above the input and dreams of low-income and working-class people, that we can see this as a catalyst to work together and fight to smash that developer demon in his den in the Downtown East Side, and that council, maybe it's a bit idealist of me, but maybe that council could prioritize social justice planning and have the courage to stand with low-income and working-class people in the most unaffordable city in the world in order to fight back against that monster.